And Ciaran Browne, who joins me now from Belfast in Ireland. He's an associate professor in conflict resolution and reconciliation over at Trinity College and Al-Quds Bard College. Ciaran, good to have you on the show. When it comes to the uncovering of this mass grave, in which we had 30 Palestinians handcuffed and blindfolded in northern Gaza, the Israeli military, for the better part of the last 4 months, has been accused of indiscriminate killings. That's why the number of, or the percentage of the total killings, which is nearing 27,000, is mostly women and children. That aside, this is really going to raise some suspicions of summer executions by the Israeli army, don't you think?
Yeah, thanks as always for having me join you. Absolutely. I mean, this isn't going to be the last of this horrendous discovery to come out of Gaza. I mean, let's not lose sight of the fact that it was only last week we were talking about the International Court of Justice finding a plausible case that the Israeli government stands accused of genocide. So, I mean, we are going to see lots of these summary executions and evidence that points to that. So this is absolutely horrendous, by the way, and very, very distressing footage to bear witness to. And, you know, when all of this draws to a close, we need a fulsome investigation. We need unchecked access to the space to investigate what's been going on here. And we need to make sure that those who are responsible are held accountable for that. And that's where the International Criminal Court comes in. And this is very clearly evidence or alleged evidence of war crimes taking place.
Since you mentioned the ICJ and the ICC, I want to ask you, do you feel that if this evidence had been presented at The Hague, it would have made any difference in South Africa's claim?
Well, the claim was exceptionally strong. It was almost unanimous, 15-2. Let's not lose sight of that. I mean, in the immediate aftermath of Friday, all of a sudden, we're talking about defunding UNRWA. We're talking about aid being pulled away from Gaza. And that seems awfully convenient timing, doesn't it, to deflect from this pretty decisive outcome at the International Court of Justice. So we need to keep our eyes on that, and we need to keep obviously focused on the situation on the ground to bring this genocidal assault to an end, to get a ceasefire and to get as much humanitarian aid into Gaza as possible.
I also want to ask you about some of the allegations made by the Israeli leadership, specifically by Prime Minister Netanyahu, because I have to look at the flip side as well, that the UNRWA needs to end its mission, that possibly he's alleging that some UN staff knew about or were involved in the initial attacks. I mean, if these allegations are true, then this is a serious issue and it needs to be looked at.
Yeah, I mean, the word "if" is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence. I mean, all the way through this campaign of horror, we have listened to the nonsense come out of the Israeli government. We have listened to their propaganda. Even today, I saw that the number of alleged workers in UNRWA who were meant to be engaged in something around 7th of October has gone down from 7 to possibly 4. So again, fulsome investigation, sure. I'm sure the organization will be looking at all of this. But the response of the international, of other states to pull their funding during a genocide? Not great. Look, lads, and I would say very clearly that the governments around the world stand accused of aiding and abetting what's going on in the ground in Gaza by pulling their funding for UNRWA, and it needs to be reversed very, very quickly.
Okay. Ciaran Browne, lovely talking to you. Thanks for coming on the show. Do appreciate talking to you. Thank you.
Cheers.